Let's take a look now at how to create a new item. To do that, you go to Items and then Create Items. And the first thing I'm going to do on this page is choose which marketplaces I would like to sell on. So at the bottom, for this example, I'm going to sell the item on eBay and Amazon. So I'll go ahead and check the box for eBay, and I'll check the box for Amazon. You should notice that near the top left here, the tabs then appear for eBay info and Amazon info, since those are the two marketplaces that I am going to use for this item. You will probably want to use the catalog match if you have a product identifier such as the UPC code or ISBN, which are the numbers that show on the barcode for an item, or the ASIN, which is Amazon's specific item or specific number for the item. I'm going to go ahead and click the catalog match button, and you can see that it's available for both eBay and Amazon. For this example, I'm going to go ahead and just use the Amazon catalog match, and I'm going to do that by typing in the UPC code. Note also that you can search by keyword if you'd rather, and then that will bring up any results that come up based on those keywords, and you can select the catalog item in that way. Now that I've entered the UPC code, I'm going to go ahead and click Search Catalog, and you can see that the iPhone I'm looking for has shown up here, and I'm just going to go ahead and click Choose this item. And I am also going to go ahead and fill in any information with that data for eBay as well that I'm able to with the data that's been pulled in. And then I'm going to go ahead and click OK. And there you go. Now you can see the UPC code and also Amazon's identifying number have already been filled in for me. And now I am going to choose my eBay product category. You can use the category browse tree to just go right through to the item that you're trying to find and then select the category that way. Or if you know the category ID already, you can just type it into the box and click Go, and it'll be filled in for you right away. Now we're done with this tab, so it's time to move on. There are two ways to navigate this form. When creating a completely new item, I recommend using the Next buttons, which are at the top right and the bottom right of the page, and that will bring you in order through the process. If you're editing an existing item, you might want to use these tabs at the top left instead, and you can just click on each tab or whichever tab you need to go to navigate right to the data that you need to change. Since we're creating a new item though, we're going to go through all of these tabs, so I'm going to go ahead and click the Next button. And right away at the top, you will probably notice that the field for title is in green and these other fields are in black. The fields that are in green are fields that are required, and you do need to enter them in order to save the item. The black fields are not required in order to save the item. And so next, we're going to take a look at the images section here, and we are going to go ahead and add in a new image. Unfortunately, one of the pieces of data that Amazon does not provide for us for eBay are the images from the catalog item. So we do need to add an image for the purpose of the eBay item. And there's also a different page where you can go to manage all of your images. We'll take a look at that a little bit later, but it's kind of handy to just add them while you're creating an item, and some people do prefer this workflow instead. And so to do that, we click the Add Images button, and then we click on the Upload button because I've not yet uploaded the image. We click to select the image to upload. I just select the image. I click Open. And I see the images right there. I can choose whether to automatically resize it or not. If I chose original size, I would upload it as is. I'm going to go ahead and click the large size, and that way if the image is too large, it will be scaled down to 600 pixels for me. And then I'm going to go ahead and click upload that file. And there you go. Now we can see that the image is showing up in the images section. Here's the item description. I'm just going to go ahead and type in a quick description for the purpose of eBay. And we'll see later that this information is then copied over to the eBay section as well. So kind of just remember that we've typed that in here and we've added this image here in the item info section, and that'll be important in a few minutes. You'll see the base price has already been filled in. This was pulled in from the Amazon catalog item. The profiles are already here. If I needed to add a new profile, I could do it right from here by clicking the green plus button. Or if I needed to edit an existing profile, I could click the edit link here as well. And let's go ahead and move on to the next page. So in this page, we have at the top the SKU. You can use pretty much whatever SKU you would like, but we do put in a default SKU for you. But feel free to change that to your own SKU if you do already have your own SKU that you're using. The total inventory quantity is a total number that you have on hand. So I'm going to go ahead and say I have 10 of those. You'll notice the quantity available for sale field cannot be edited, and it automatically updated when I changed the total inventory quantity. The reason for that is the quantity available for sale is letting me know how many I have in stock that have not yet been sold. So for example, with this total inventory quantity of 10, let's say that I've sold one of those. So I now just have 9 for sale and I have 1 that I've sold, but I've not yet shipped it. I still have a quantity of 10 in stock in my warehouse or wherever I am keeping those items, but only 9 of those are available for sale. So until that item's marked as shipped, we would have a total inventory quantity of 10 and a quantity available for sale of 9. Once that item is marked as shipped, then it would be 9 and 9 instead. And here is also where you would select your item allocation strategy that we talked about earlier. And it's also where you can enter in your cost. So this is the amount of money that you paid for the product. And this is very helpful for the purpose of profit and loss reporting. We have some good reporting that you can use that will let you know which items are bringing you in the most profit. And one of the ways that we are able to do that is if you enter in your cost of the product here. There are some other fields here as well that you can fill in. These are all optional. There's the advanced area, which shows you some more like brand and manufacturer and that sort of thing. And for pretty much any data that you want to store for the item, you can enter into this tab. You can even create your own custom fields if you need to for this page. But it's also not necessary, so we're just going to go ahead and go on to the next tab. And now we are on the eBay info tab. And this tab contains all of your eBay specific information. You'll notice much of this is already filled in, either from the Amazon catalog match that we did, or from some of the data we entered previously, or just some of the defaults that show up. But you can go ahead and change anything that you need to for the purpose of eBay. For example, we default to fixed price, but if it's an auction listing, you would choose auction here instead. Perhaps you want the duration to be different. It's 7 days, but we'll go ahead, we'll change it to 30. You can see the price has already been pulled in from the Amazon catalog item. You can go ahead and change it here if you're charging a different amount on eBay than you do on Amazon. And you'll see the title's also been copied over. What you might notice in the title field and some of the other fields on various tabs is this icon that looks like 2 links of a chain. When you see that icon, it means that the data has been copied over from the item info tab that we were on previously. And so that's where it came from. But if perhaps you want a different title for eBay than you do for Amazon, you can go ahead and click this icon of the 2 links of a chain to break those links. And now you can enter in a different title for eBay than you have for Amazon. It will only change it in this field and not in the other places. Perhaps, I don't know, you don't want the color, I probably would, but just as an example, you could go ahead and really make whatever change to that title you would like. And so we're just going to scroll down here a bit. If you list on eBay, these options should all look pretty familiar to you. They're pretty basic eBay options, the same sorts of options that you have whenever you list items to eBay. The templates, though, you will probably not be familiar with. We have some really good templates, and I will be showing you a little bit more about our eBay templates later on in the webinar. But for right now, know that this is where you would select the template that you want to use for your eBay listing. I'm going to go ahead and click on favorites, and you can see I have 3 different templates that I've added to my favorites, and I can select one of those here. And you can, of course, also choose one of the other templates from here as well. Or you can also choose which counter style you want to use. If you want to use a counter to count how many people are viewing your listings, we have really a very large number of different counter styles that you can use. And then at the bottom, we're going to go ahead and click the More eBay options. Again, most of this information we've already filled in previously, so we can just skim down to see if it looks okay. You can see here in the description section, this is the description that we typed in earlier, and it's been copied over to the eBay section for us. And the same thing for that image that we added earlier on. And then at the very bottom is the Preview at eBay button, which I always recommend that you take a look at before launching a listing. And that will show you what the listing will look like on eBay, and also if there are any issues with it before you launch it. And then when you are ready to launch, you have a few different launch options at the bottom of the page. First, if you're just maybe entering in some data and you're not ready to launch the listing yet, you can select to not launch it right now, or you can select to launch a single listing, and you can choose to either launch immediately when saved, or you can specify a specific day and time. You can also choose to automatically relist it a certain number of times if it closes without a sale. Or you can use those eBay launch profiles that we talked about earlier that allow you to set up some more detailed rules as to how to launch your listings. For now, I'm going to go ahead and select to not launch right now and click next to go on to the Amazon info section. Since our item is in the Amazon catalog, there's actually very little work that we need to do for Amazon. We're pretty much already done. I mean, you want to take a look and make sure that all the data is correct. Let's get the condition in there. Let's take a quick look and see if everything looks right to you. And then you're pretty much ready to send that item on over to Amazon. If your item is not in Amazon's catalog, this is where you would create the new Amazon catalog item, and you would do that by clicking the link right there. And then you can choose to either not publish on Amazon when you save the item if you're not ready for it to go live yet, or you can click to publish on Amazon. And then once you're done, we're ready to just save this item. You can go ahead and click the Save button at either the top right or bottom right of the page, and the item will be launched based on the rules that you have set up. Go ahead and click Save now. And that brings us to the My Items page. And the My Items page we'll take a look at in just a minute, but first I wanted to actually show you the My Listings page. I'm going to go to Channels and then My Listings, and this is where we can check on the status of the listings that you've launched. You can see here that there is the Channels button, and if you select the Channels button, it allows you to choose whether you're looking at eBay or Amazon or Vendio store items. There's also the Views button that lets you then decide which status of items you want to look at. You can look at your active, your scheduled, any errors that you have, or any ended listings. So for example, right now we're looking at our active listings that are currently on eBay. You also can take some different actions from this page, like if you need to end a listing early, perhaps you need to cancel an eBay listing, you can do that right from this page.